Friends, it's a common experience in a person's life that they can feel unhappy despite having everything. An unhappy life is one in which an individual may feel lacking in happiness, contentment, or purpose. Such a life can be one where a person is struggling to achieve their goals and dreams or is facing difficulties in their relationships. Negative thinking can hinder a person from attaining happiness and contentment. When someone consistently focuses on negative aspects, they become incapable of seeing the positive ones, and as a result, they tend to remain unhappy in life. So today, through the story of Gautam Buddha, we can learn how to effectively deal with stress in our lives. This is a story from the days when Gautam Buddha used to spend his time in the lap of nature. By this time, Buddha's fame had spread far and wide. People from far and wide came to him seeking solutions to their worries and problems. One day, while Gautam Buddha was giving a speech outside the village to his disciples, a mother and her young son were approaching in his direction. When they reached the spot, Lord Buddha gave a glance at them and gestured for them to sit. After the speech had finished and everyone had left the area, Buddha called the woman and her son to sit with him. Surrounding them was lush greenery. The weather was pleasant, and the songs of various birds filled the air. Seeing this beautiful scene, the woman and her son felt a profound sense of peace from within. Afterwards, Buddha asked the woman the reason for her visit. In response, she said, "Lord, I have embarked on a journey of 4 days to bring my son to meet you. This is my only son, and he always seems tired. It feels like there is no life inside him, no vitality. His nature has also become quite irritable. If we say anything to him, he gets angry over trivial matters. His vision has weakened prematurely, and his hair is turning gray as well. I can't understand why someone so young appears to be aging so rapidly. Oh Lord, I am very worried about my son's health. When I took my son to the doctor, they gave me some advice and said, 'Tell your son to reduce stress. He is experiencing mental stress, which is why he is in this condition.' However, despite my efforts to explain to him, I still don't understand what stress means. I don't know what causes it and how it can be removed from my son's mind. But first, I need to understand what stress is. That's why I have come to you. Oh Lord, please provide a solution to my problem." Listening carefully, Gautam Buddha observes the woman's son closely. He looks at his face, gazes into his eyes, and even checks the pulse in his hands. After performing all these methods, Buddha says to the women, "No one wants to be stressed, but still, stress grips people's minds like a termite, and the individual doesn't even realize that they are living in stress. However, if a person understands the causes of stress closely and establishes a measure for stress, allowing them to gauge how stressed they are, they can also seek a solution to this problem. First and foremost, you need to understand what stress is. Whenever a person is engaged in an activity, but their mind is wandering elsewhere, lost in thoughts, a gap is created between their body and mind. The greater this gap, the more the person drifts into a state of unconsciousness, and the tension or stress resulting from this tension between the body and mind is referred to as stress. After all, why does a person feel fresh and full of energy after playing a game, even though they have exerted their body? The understanding here is that during play, the mind and body are completely absorbed in the game, which prevents any distance from forming between the body and mind. This absence of separation between the body and mind means that no stress is created, and even if there is any stress in the mind, it also dissipates. On the contrary, when we engage in something we don't like, our body may be doing that task, but our mind wanders far into the realm of imagination, creating a distance between the body and the mind, giving birth to stress. That's why a person should focus on doing only one task at a time and channel all their physical and mental energy into that one task so that stress does not arise within the individual. After this, Gautam Buddha said, there are 7 main reasons for stress, and one who understands these reasons can remain stress-free throughout his life. Buddha said that the main cause of stress is having expectations from others. He pointed to a woman and said, "As a mother, You may have many expectations from your son. You want your son to become a very successful person, to bring honor to your name, to live life the way you desire, and to follow your every wish. But have all of anyone's expectations ever been fulfilled? Whenever a person starts having expectations from someone else, they unknowingly create stress for themselves. Think about it. If your son is working according to your wishes and is not able to become what you want him to be, it will undoubtedly lead to stress. You will start living a stressful life, and this stress will affect your relationship with your son. Therefore, a person should try to keep their expectations from others as low as possible. If you want to live a completely stress-free life, stop having expectations from others. Buddha said, "Do not blame people for disappointing you. Blame yourself for expecting too much from them." Buddha further said, "Second big cause for stress is being too ambitious. Ambitions are good, but have you ever noticed that when someone doesn't reach a goal, they quickly move on to the next one? It's like a never-ending cycle. People with big ambitions can struggle to live in the moment because their minds are always focused on the future. Even though their body is in the present, their mind is busy making plans for what's next, causing a gap between their mind and body and leading to stress." When a boy heard this, he asked Buddha, "Does that mean we shouldn't have goals at all? Because having goals is a kind of ambition, right?" Buddha answered, "Having goals is fine, but the problem arises when we only think about the outcome and worry too much about the results. It's important to live in the present. You can have goals and work hard for them, but at the same time, remember to be aware of the present moment. That's the truth." Buddha said the third biggest reason for stress is procrastinating today's work for tomorrow. You must have heard the saying that laziness is the biggest enemy of a human's body. It's because of laziness that a person postpones today's work for tomorrow, and then procrastination becomes a habit. Individuals who keep putting off work for tomorrow never complete their tasks on time, and even if they do, it's not as good as it could have been. This creates stress within the individual. However, completing work on time or finishing it right before the deadline is a habit. Therefore, even if one doesn't want to, they often become victims of this habit and keep postponing their work. Then, when the time limit for the work approaches, they attempt to complete it with stress. To stay stress-free, one must give up the habit of procrastination, and this is only possible when a person resolves to finish their work before the deadline. Buddha said, "Doing the work takes much less energy than avoiding the work." Another cause of stress is not taking the time to understand one's plans. Some people don't give much thought to their ideas and start working on them without proper consideration. When they face failure in their attempt, they become stressed because they had not gathered enough information about the task before they started. Before beginning any task, a person should carefully think about the potential positive and negative outcomes. They should also consider what they will do if the plan doesn't succeed. It's essential for a person to dedicate enough time to closely understand their plans so that they can prevent stress come from their plans later on. Following that, Buddha went on to explain that another cause of stress is engaging in activities that you have no interest in. Doing work that you don't enjoy, work that doesn't align with your interests, your mind won't be fully engaged in it. Your body may be physically present, but your mind will be lost in imagination. This creates a gap between the body and mind, leading to stress. That's why a person should always work according to their interests. If a person figures out what they enjoy doing and makes it the goal of their life, then that work becomes a passion for them. However, following your true passion is not as easy as it sounds. Discovering your true passion can be a challenge. In today's world, most young people are influenced by social media and their favorite celebrities and consider any job as their passion. After a few days of trying, they gave up because it wasn't their true passion. In this way, they waste a lot of valuable time and energy. Buddha further said, "The sixth biggest cause of stress is envy. When a person becomes filled with envy and jealousy, their inner peace begins to destroy. Envy is an internal wound, a wound of the mind. While a person can heal physical wounds, The wounds of the mind cannot be easily healed. That's why one should never feel envious of someone else's happiness and success, because envy is a cause of stress. Buddha said, "Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind." The main and most significant cause of stress is excessive thinking. Continuous thinking is also a disease, and it is most commonly found in individuals who engage in excessive daydreaming, those who constantly think about past events and future matters without reason. Therefore, it is essential to control the habit of overthinking. To achieve this, one should keep oneself as occupied as possible and make daily meditation a part of their life. Listening to all these words from Buddha's mouth, the woman joined her hands and said, "Buddha, my son is only 21 years old, and he does not yet possess the understanding to follow all the things you have mentioned simultaneously. Can you please suggest an easy way for him to remain stress-free and be able to follow it?" Hearing this request, Buddha thought for a moment and responded, "If you cannot follow all these things, there is a very simple method. Focus your attention on doing one task at a time. When you are doing any task, focus only on that task at that time. Put all your attention on that task, and if your mind wanders, bring it back to the same task as soon as you remember. This is the easiest and best way to remain stress-free. When you eat, eat only. Enjoy the complete taste of your food, experience it. When you walk, put your full attention on walking. Your mind and your body will both be centered in one place, and there will be no distance between them, which is the main cause of stress. Today's youth are habitual to multitasking, talking on the phone while driving, eating while watching TV, or using the phone. Then, they complain that they are living in stress. My mind is restless, and I have become irritable. When a person tries to do 2 or 3 things at the same time, it is natural for stress to arise because the mind can only focus on one task at a time. It can never fully concentrate on 2 tasks simultaneously. Therefore, wherever possible, make an effort to do only one task at a time, and that too with full concentration. I hope you enjoyed this story and learned a lot. You can tell us your thoughts about the story by commenting in the below comment box. Before leaving, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.